So let's just take a look at why these things are such a pain in the ass to get in the tank with a fuel pump on it. So here's your sending unit from a stock Volvo 240. I've made some modifications to it to accept a -8 and a -6 line. And the problem is, once you get all of your pump set up down here on this little arm here, which is also the return line, you got a pretty big cylindrical object here, plus this float arm and the actual float, not to mention the rheostat for the gauge, and that's all being forced down into an opening in the tank that's 2.5 inches in diameter. So you're trying to jam the pump down in, trying to keep this little ball thing from falling off, and you're trying to keep this rheostat from exploding, because when you look at it, all it is stamped metal that has those little tin tabs that are folded over. So any type of bending or over manipulation of this thing, and this thing goes exploding. And once it explodes, you have a tiny spring in there that ejects itself, along with the little armature setup there. So, needless to say, it is pretty much of a pain in the ass to do this. Kind of the reason why I'm going to be switching the setup up a little bit. So, that's kind of one of the benefits to opening up a larger hole in your tank, just to kind of be able to ease more fuel pumps down into the tank, along with not having to over manipulate this thing and cause this whole setup here to explode and just lay in the bottom of your tank. I actually found a piece of the old spring from my old sending unit that I broke in the bottom of the tank. I wasn't able to fish it out, and you know, that was kind of neat. When I pulled it down, I found it. But needless to say, this is a reproduction that I got off of eBay. It's actually not too bad. I had some fittings, like I said, brazed onto the end of it, and used this as a vent, and I'm able to sneak some wires up to it. But my plans for this are, I'm going to probably cut the return here, keep this attached to it, and then weld this piece here onto a new piece of metal. So I just kind of want to make sure that I have a functioning fuel gauge when it's all said and done. So I think that's what it's going to be, and you know, I'll keep you guys posted. Now, the flange is done. My buddy Jay hooked it up with that, and he's going to start on the top plate for this, which will basically recreating this, but in the new format. So I'll keep you guys posted, figure it out. Still deciding on what kind of material I want to use, and now that I think about it, if I have to weld this to a piece of tubing that goes up to an aluminum top plate, I think this is, I'm not really sure what that's made out of. I'm gonna have to check it out, but it's probably some kind of steel. I don't know. I'll have to look at it, but needless to say, I want to make sure I'm able to attach this piece to the new one. So I'll keep you guys posted as to what's going on, and we'll see how it works out once it's all said and done. E85 coming to the car. Getting ready. Warmer weather's coming. Can't wait to drive it. Super bored with the daily Volvo, which is completely gutless. But at the end of the day, it's probably better that it sits in the garage over the winter time. I just don't want to deal with rot issues on these things. They're just getting a little more tougher to find that don't have any rot, and you know, it is what it is. So, all right, guys, have a good night, and take care. I'll keep you guys posted.